Picture this scenario because I guarantee it happened to you this week. It's 7 p.m. on a Tuesday. You're exhausted from back-to-back meetings. Your fridge has ingredients for a perfectly good meal, but your brain is too fried to think about chopping an onion. So you grab your phone. You open DoorDash or Uber Eats. You order a burrito bowl that costs $12 at the restaurant. But by the time you add the service fee, the delivery fee, the small order fee you didn't know existed, and the tip because you're not a monster, that $12 bowl is now $28. And you tell yourself it's fine. It's convenient. Your time is valuable. But what if I told you that the convenience you're buying is the most expensive illusion in your budget? What if I told you that delivery apps aren't just overcharging you on dinner? They're systematically training you to be financially helpless, and the real cost of that $28 burrito bowl might actually be closer to $1,000 when we account for the compound effect of your decisions. My name is Bobby, and I spend an unreasonable amount of time reverse engineering the predatory systems that are designed to separate you from your money while making you feel like you're treating yourself. If you've ever looked at your bank statement at the end of the month and wondered why there are 47 different charges from restaurants you barely remember eating from, or if you've ever justified a delivery order by saying, "I'm too tired to cook," and then felt guilty about it later, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Because today we're going to perform a forensic audit on the delivery app economy. We're going to calculate the true cost of convenience. And I promise you, once you see these numbers, you'll think twice before tapping that place order button ever again. Here's the lie that the delivery app industrial complex has sold us. They've convinced us that convenience is priceless, that our time is so valuable that paying a premium to have food brought to our door is actually an investment in ourselves. They've gamified laziness and made it feel like self-care. But let's be brutally honest about what's actually happening here. These apps aren't convenience services. They're poverty traps dressed up in sleek user interfaces. They're designed by Stanford psychologists and backed by billions in venture capital with one singular goal: to make ordering food so frictionless that you stop thinking about the cost entirely. And it's working. The average American now spends over $200 a month on food delivery. That's $2,400 a year. But that number doesn't tell the whole story because we're not just talking about money. We're talking about a behavioral shift that's costing you your financial future. Let's break down the anatomy of a single delivery app order and expose every hidden cost that you're not seeing. You open the app. You're hungry. You scroll through restaurants. You pick one. Let's say it's a local Thai place. You order pad Thai, spring rolls, and a Thai iced tea. At the restaurant, this meal would cost you $18. But you're not at the restaurant. You're on the app. So first, the menu prices are marked up. Most restaurants increase their prices on delivery apps by 20 to 30% to cover the commission the app charges them. So that $18 meal is now $23 before you've added anything to your cart. Then comes the service fee. That's usually 10 to 15%. Now we're at $26. Then there's the delivery fee, which ranges from $2 to $8 depending on distance and demand. Let's say $4. We're at $30. Oh, but there's a small order fee because you didn't hit the minimum. Add $2. We're at $32. Then there's tax on the inflated price. Add another $3. We're at $35. And now the app helpfully suggests a tip. It defaults to 20% of the already inflated total. You feel guilty tipping less because you know the driver is getting screwed by the gig economy. So you tip $7. Your final total is $42 for a meal that costs $18 at the restaurant. You just paid a 133% convenience markup. You more than doubled the price of your food for the privilege of not putting on pants. But we're just getting started because the financial damage of delivery apps isn't just about the markup on a single order. It's about the behavioral pattern they create. These apps are engineered to be addictive. They save your payment information. They remember your favorites. They send you push notifications with limited time offers. They show you exactly how long it will take for food to arrive, creating urgency. They remove every possible point of friction between the impulse and the purchase. In behavioral economics, this is called reducing transaction costs, and it's incredibly dangerous for your wallet. When ordering food requires you to look up a phone number, call the restaurant, give your credit card over the phone, and wait an uncertain amount of time, there's friction. Friction makes you think. Friction makes you ask yourself, do I really need this? Or should I just make a sandwich? But when ordering food is 3 taps on a screen you're already holding, there's no friction. There's no moment of reflection. There's just impulse and instant gratification. And the apps know this. They're counting on it. Let's talk about the substitution effect, because this is where the real financial carnage happens. Every time you order delivery instead of cooking, you're not just spending $42 on dinner. You're also wasting the food in your fridge that you already paid for. That chicken breast that's going to expire. Those vegetables that are wilting. The pasta in your pantry that you bought with good intentions. When you order delivery, you're essentially paying twice for dinner. Once for the groceries you're not eating, and once for the overpriced food you just ordered. The average American throws away $1,500 worth of food per year. And a huge chunk of that waste is directly correlated with convenience food spending. You buy groceries with the intention of cooking. Then you get tired. You order delivery. The groceries rot. You throw them away. You feel guilty. You order delivery again to avoid the guilt. It's a vicious cycle that's costing you thousands. Now let's talk about the opportunity cost. And this is where the math gets truly terrifying. Let's say you're 30 years old. You order delivery 3 times a week. Each order costs you an average of $35. That's $105 a week, $5,460 a year. Now, let's say instead of ordering delivery, you cooked simple meals at home. The same meals would cost you about $8 each in groceries. That's $24 a week, $1,248 a year. The difference is $4,212 per year that you're spending on convenience. But you're not just spending that money. You're losing the opportunity to invest it. If you took that $4,212 every year and invested it in a low-cost index fund earning an average of 8% annually, in 30 years you would have $518,000. Let me say that again. Your delivery app habit is costing you $500,000 in retirement savings. You're not just buying dinner. You're selling your financial freedom for pad thai. But the costs don't stop at money. There's also a massive health cost that nobody talks about. Restaurant food, especially delivery food, is engineered to be hyperpalatable. It's loaded with salt, sugar, and fat because restaurants know that's what makes you order again. When you cook at home, you control the ingredients. You control the portions. You eat healthier almost by default. But when you're ordering delivery 3 times a week, you're consuming thousands of extra calories, excessive sodium, and inflammatory oils that are destroying your health. And poor health is expensive. It leads to higher insurance premiums, more doctor visits, medications, and lost productivity. The delivery app habit isn't just draining your bank account. It's draining your vitality. You're paying a premium to slowly poison yourself. There's also a psychological cost that's insidious. Every time you choose convenience over effort, you're reinforcing a neural pathway that says, I can't do hard things. Cooking isn't actually hard. It's just slightly inconvenient. But when you outsource every slightly inconvenient task in your life, you atrophy your ability to tolerate discomfort. You become dependent on convenience. You become helpless. And helplessness is expensive because helpless people are easy to exploit. They pay more for everything because they've lost the skills and willpower to do things themselves. The delivery app companies know this. They're not just selling you food. They're selling you learned helplessness. And you're buying it $35 at a time. So what's the solution? How do we break free from this trap? The answer isn't to never order delivery again. I'm not a monk. I'm not going to tell you to live on rice and beans and never enjoy a meal you didn't cook. The answer is to bring back friction. Make it harder to order delivery. Delete the apps from your phone. If you want to order food, you have to reinstall the app, log in, and go through the whole process. That friction gives you time to think. It gives you time to ask yourself, am I actually hungry? Or am I just tired? Do I really not have time to cook? Or am I just avoiding discomfort? Most of the time, the answer is avoidance. And once you recognize that, you can make a different choice. Here's a practical framework. Implement the 20-minute rule. When you feel the urge to order delivery, set a timer for 20 minutes. During those 20 minutes, go to your kitchen and see what you can make with what you have. It doesn't have to be gourmet. It can be scrambled eggs and toast. It can be pasta with Jared sauce. It can be a quesadilla. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is to prove to yourself that you're capable. And here's what you'll find. Most of the time, by the time you've made a simple meal, the urge to order delivery has passed. You've saved $35. You've eaten healthier. And you've reinforced the neural pathway that says, I can do hard things. Also, batch cook on Sundays. Spend 2 hours making large quantities of simple meals. Chili, stir fry, burritos. Portion them into containers. Now, when you're tired on Tuesday night, you're not choosing between cooking and delivery. You're choosing between reheating and delivery. Reheating takes 3 minutes. Suddenly, delivery doesn't seem so convenient anymore. Calculate your real delivery app spending. Go through your bank statements for the last 3 months. Add up every single delivery app charge. Divide by 3. That's your monthly average. Multiply by 12. That's your annual spending. Now multiply that by 30 and assume an 8% return. That's what this habit is costing you in future wealth. Write that number on a sticky note. Put it on your phone. Every time you reach for the app, you'll see that number. You'll remember what you're actually trading. The delivery app economy is built on your exhaustion. These companies are betting that you're too tired to cook, too busy to think, and too numb to care about the cost. They're betting that you'll keep trading your financial future for the illusion of convenience. Don't let them win. Cook your own food. It's not just about saving money. It's about reclaiming your agency, your health, and your future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.